did the impossible, Doc. But now I have to destroy it. With a little creation of my own.
Oh, I like this suit. This looks pretty cool. Is there a specific name for it?
Once again, we have live footage of Mayor Osborn being held captive on the roof of Oscorp Tower.
You want me to beg? Not gonna happen!
The world will know the truth before they mop you off the pavement.
Oh! Ah!
Tell them what you did.
I never.
Everything you have is built on lies! Lies! You stole my company, my ideas! Now, the truth.
The truth. Okay. The truth is, you were only ever worth a damn when you worked for me! The truth is, you could never accept that I'm better than you! You're a failure, Otto! And you always will be!
Give me the anti-serum! Otto, you've worked your whole life to help people. Please.
You're fighting the wrong man. But have it your way.
What do you mean, I'm fighting the wrong? Okay.
Time, please!
I'll turn over the anti-serum when Osborn pays for his crime!
Oh shit.
Just give me the anti-serum! You've already done enough to ruin Osborn!
No! He always bounces back! He has to lose everything!
Ow.
See you
Oh.
have a new suit! It won't help!
I know your weaknesses!
I have no weaknesses!
What does resupply do? I have an idea of what resupply might do, but not sure. So it basically gives me unlimited ammo, I think. I can just fire the webs.
Osborn's the criminal, not me!
Ow.
I'm trying to help you! You're only hurting yourself!
Luckily I have the maxed out recharge rate on my web shooters, so this isn't too bad. At least not in this first phase.
I've lost all patience with you!
I don't know if there's gonna be more phases. Ow.
Give me the anti-serum, and I promise Osborn will face charges!
Liar! Just like Osborn! Nothing but lies! Enough of this! Enough playing!
Oh boy. Well,
Gotta move.
okay then.
What are you...
Oh shit. Oh great.
Such a disappointment. Parker. You knew? I tried to warn you, Peter, but you didn't listen. You knew. I won't let you win. This means too much to me.
Not more than it means.
To me!
Can't you see all the people you're hurting?
You'll never understand! You haven't suffered like I have!
There's a ruin.
You should be on my side! I won!
No way. Shooters are wrecked. Please, think of the man you were!
That man is gone. You can't save me, Peter.
Then I guess you'll have to save yourself! You're my hero!
Oh shit.
You meant so much to me! I hate that you're making me do this! We were going to change the world!
You look tired, Parker.
Not tired. Just hurt. Otto!
If you want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest decisions.
I couldn't agree more. No! The anti-serum.
Peter, I saw you as a son. I should have known you'd turn on me, just like all the others.
Turn. I've worshipped you. Your mind, your conscience, wanting to help others. The way you never gave up.
That's because men like us have a duty, a responsibility, to use our talents in the service of others. Even if they don't appreciate it, we have to do what's best for those beneath us, whether they understand it or not.
No, you're wrong! You are everything I wanted to be! You just threw it away!
Yes, of course. You're right, Peter. Oh, I see that now. The neural interface affected my mind. But I can fix it. We can fix it. Together. If you'll help me.
Do everything I can. I'll make sure you get the best help.
No! If they put me away, they'll take my arms. I'll be trapped in this useless body. Please, Peter. That wasn't me. You said you'd never abandon me. You promised. Remember? And of course, you rest easy, knowing your secret is safe with me.
You do what you think is best, Doc. It's all any of us can.
Peter?
Even when it hurts like hell.
Peter, where are you going? Peter? Peter!
Really thought Peter was contemplating helping him, but I don't believe Otto for 1 second. Jesus. Oh man.
Still viable. We'll need the entire sample as a base to produce more doses.
How long will that take?
A few hours. Maybe a day.
What if we use it to cure someone right now?
Then there won't be enough to cure the others. I'll give you a few minutes.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
So,
Hi, Mary Jane Watson, Associate Editor.
congrats.
Thank you.
I knew you could do it.
What about you? Find a job yet?
Oh, no, but,
I'll be right with you, honey. Thank you.
I was actually considering maybe a career change. Yeah, I think I might want to become a chef.
I'm sorry. No, it's... You're a scientist. A good one.
Yeah, the last project I worked on, I created a monster octopus that almost destroyed the city, so...
Yeah. I mean, You do make a hell of a chicken curry.
I do. Still working on my dumplings, though.
Going camping?
Oh, my new place isn't gonna be ready for about a week, so I'm gonna be crashing with Miles for the next few nights.
Oh. You know, you can always stay at my place. Only if you want to.
No, I mean, yes. I mean, no, I don't. I not want to. But meaning, I do want to, but only if you do.
I never stopped wanting to.
Me neither.
Well, there you go. That's the end of Spider-Man. Oh gosh. I don't know. Well, MJ and Peter finally got together, or back together. So I guess that's kind of a happy ending. We saved New York City. Saved everybody except for Aunt May. And, oh man. That is... Oh. I don't know. Okay. Well, we had a lot of stuff happen in the last, like, pretty much half hour. My god. So much shit went down. But, we defeated all the bad guys. We were able to develop a cure. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, or it wasn't... It was either develop a cure for the entire population, or save Aunt May. And I have to say that I think Peter made the right choice, because I think Aunt May would have wanted that. She would have rather risked her life in order to save, I don't even know how many people. It has to be in the thousands or even millions. I'm not really sure how many people are infected. I don't know if they ever said, but yeah, that's a really tough choice for Peter. But at least they got to say goodbye to each other pretty much. And she knew that he was Spider-Man the entire time. Which I was kind of thinking that she might have known. Because there was a scene where she was asking him about MJ. And she was like, does she know all of you, or does she know the real you, or something like that? And it was kind of like, wait, does she know we're Spider-Man or not? But, yeah. And then we also got to see that Miles got bit by a spider. And if you are familiar with the comics at all, then you should know that Miles Morales does become Spider-Man in the future. So, it was pretty cool to see that, actually.
Well, I'm not an expert or anything, but I think it's in the way that you ask her.
I'm getting too nervous. Hey, all right, so where do you want this?
Right over here is fine.
All right. Hey, so Pete?
Yeah.
I, kinda gotta talk to you about something I can't tell my mom about.
What's up?
Well, weird things have been going on. Like, physically.
Oh. Oh. Well, you know, you're at that age where your body starts to change. And so you may be noticing some areas,
No.
for example.
Not that. I think it's better that I just I show you.
No.
It's pretty weird, right?
Not that weird.
Well, there you go. I did speak a little too soon on that. Whoops. But there you go. Miles Morales is gonna be a Spider-Man. So... Oh, man. That is really cool. Just not sure what to say now. You know what? Before I start speaking, I'm gonna reset my mic real quick. Alright. I don't want my mic to get all distorted and stuff, because, you know, sometimes it happens like after an hour of recording, or of the software being up, so I have to kind of restart it so that my mic sounds okay. Hopefully it does. But anyway. Overall, I think Spider-Man was it was a really, really good game. I think it could be a contender for Game of the Year, honestly. I said that about God of War, and I knew that this game was gonna kind of compete with it for Game of the Year, but I don't know which one I would choose, because they were both really good games. They both had a lot of things I liked about it, and they both had a few issues. But you know, they're two kind of different games, obviously. So it's kind of hard to compare them, but I do think this is a contender for Game of the Year. And you know, whoever wins that, I'll be happy. I hope it's one of those two. But anyway, I'm not gonna spend all this time talking about Game of the Year, but this was a really, really good game. It was, man, PS4 is doing pretty well in their game development for 2018. So, or their exclusives for 2018. Man, these have been good games. Yeah. I guess first thing to talk about is probably the story. So, there was a lot of parts of the story that were kind of predictable, because it is based on the Spider-Man comics, and I don't have a lot of knowledge on Spider-Man, but I do have a little bit. I've seen Spider-Man 1. I think I've probably seen parts of Spider-Man 2. And I think I saw like 10 minutes of Spider-Man 3. And those were the Tobey Maguire movies? I think that's his name? I don't really remember. But I saw those, or parts of those, but my memory of those are pretty vague. I did watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield last year. More recently. Those were... So I watched those, and I know a little bit about the lizard guy, and what was the other one? Electro, I guess. And the Goblin or Hobgoblin? I don't know. Anyway, and then I also watched the actual Marvel Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Homecoming. So I knew a little bit about Vulture. And then I've also watched the animated series that was on from like 2012 to 2017, I think. So I did watch that series, so that's where most of my knowledge about these villains and stuff comes from. So I knew that Dr. Octavius was going to become Doc Ock. Who else was there? I mean, that's pretty much why I kind of associated all the villains with the Sinister Six, because there were 6 of them, and I knew there was a group called the Sinister Six, and I think most of them were a part of it. I don't know if that was the actual Sinister Six, but I don't know. So I know about Doc Ock, Vulture, Electro, Rhino, and that's pretty much the only villains I knew about. I didn't know about Martin Lee or Mr. Negative, and I didn't know about Fisk. Those were 2 new characters to me. So I don't know if they are in the comics. They probably are. Pretty sure they are. But I didn't know about them, so that was kind of new for me. But I feel like they didn't really hide it that much for people who are not familiar with Spider-Man. Like when we first see Martin Lee, like that first scene after it ends, he kind of gives this like kind of sketchy look at the end of the scene. And it kind of looks like, what's going on with Martin Lee here? And well, he turns out to be a really, well, not a really bad guy, but he has a bad side to him. So I don't know. He ended up being a really bad guy, but I don't know if there's like 2 different like personalities going on there or something. I don't know. So when they show Martin Lee at pretty much the terrorist attack that happened at Officer Davis's award ceremony thing, that would have been a big surprise if they had done a better job of keeping Martin Lee's second identity a secret. So I don't know, I feel like they didn't try too much to keep it a secret. I mean, obviously you want to have like some hints there for the people that are familiar with Spider-Man, and you just want, I don't know what I'm saying actually, but yeah, the Martin Lee thing was probably one of the biggest twists in the game for me. Like the Doc Ock stuff, I kind of saw coming because, well, I know about Doc Ock. And then even if you didn't, you could kind of see some things like when he had the plans for the raft on it in his office. That was kind of like, what's going on here? And yeah, I just don't know. It was I think it was a pretty good story. One of the things I don't know why they did is they put all these villains in like the trailers and at E3 and stuff, and they kind of showed them off like, hey, here's all the villains of the game. And it's like, why would you do that? Let it be a surprise, you know? And I guess, you know, marketing, it's like, oh, this villain's gonna be in the game? Oh, cool, I want to play it now. It's like, can kind of understand that, but I would have rather liked to have a surprise of who the villains in the game are going to be. Like if we would have went into that raft section and then like just completely blind, never knowing who's going to be there, and then see like, you know, Electro come here, and then freaking Vulture comes out of nowhere, and then Rhino's there, and it's like, whoa, look at all these villains, putting everybody in the game. But they showed that off at E3, and then it was kind of like, eh. So, I don't know, I wish they would have kept some things a little bit more secret, but what can you do? But other than that, I think everything was pretty well done. Like they did a pretty good job of developing a relationship between Peter and Doc Ock to the point where when he does turn into Doc Ock, it's kind of like a shock. Well, not really a shock, but like at the end of the game when Peter is like devastated that Dr. Octavius is pretty much gone, you can kind of feel that a little bit more because you've been working with him throughout the entire game pretty much. And I don't know, it was just really cool to see all these relationships build. We see MJ and Peter trying to like rekindle their relationship, and you know they've broken up, but they're starting to talk to each other again, and they want to be friends, and then it ends up being more at the end of the game. So it was nice to see that. It's nice to see like Miles, he's like a huge fan of Spider-Man, and then he ends up, you know, after he loses his father, he's like all down in the dumps, and Peter says, hey, go volunteer here, and it's like, okay, and they start to become really good friends, and then, you know, Peter's also there being Spider-Man and kind of giving him some advice, and like when Miles was getting robbed, and Peter's there as Spider-Man, giving him some tips on basically self-defense. So kind of cool to see him giving some advice on how to be the next Spider-Man. If you knew that Miles is the next Spider-Man, or one of the next Spider-Man. I don't know. I'm not sure how they handle that in the comics, or what's canon and what's, I don't know. All I know is that Miles Morales is a Spider-Man, so it was really cool to see how he got bit, and then the part at the end where he shows Peter his power, and then Peter's like, "Hey, I can do that too." that was really cool. I enjoyed that. You know, it was weird because I saw the spiders in the office, Osborn's office or whatever, and I was like, are those the spiders that gave Peter his powers? And then one of them escapes, and MJ pretty much brings it to Miles, and then, well, that's how Miles gets his powers. So kind of give you a little information on that, and then yeah, I don't know. It was just really interesting to go through this game and just go through the story in general. It was interesting. I mean, you have Martin Lee with he's like this philanthropist. He's done so much good for people, and then he ends up being a terrorist. He turns into a terrorist pretty much, and it's like two completely different personalities, and that's why he's got the yin. Oops. That's why he has the yin and yang stuff. So I kind of like that symbolism there. And then Doc Ock ends up turning evil, and I don't know. And then you have Sable being Sable was something else. It's like she's there, and it's like Spider-Man's priority target. It's like, what the fuck? Why? You have these people who are literally trying to destroy the city and destroy Osborn, and Spider-Man's here trying to stop him. But it's like, hey, Spider-Man's priority target. Who? It's like, it just didn't make sense to me. Like, why would you? I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna put my controller on the desk so that I don't accidentally press a button. Yeah, but at the end, Sable actually, I don't know, what was her name? Silver Sable? Maybe. She ended up actually respecting us. She actually worked with us in the end, and that kind of helped. It kind of helped things a lot, actually, because you know, we were able to take down Martin Lee, and unfortunately Doc Ock was able to get away. But she pretty much ended up saving us in the end. So I don't know. It was weird. But overall, I think the story was well written. It was very well told. They did a pretty good job of creating relationships between Peter and all his friends and villains and all that stuff. It was really, really sad to see Aunt May pass away in the end. It was, and I didn't want that to happen. I really didn't want that to happen, but it did. And, it kind of made this game have a really, really sad ending. I mean, they kind of made up for it with MJ and Peter getting together and Miles and Peter knowing about each other's powers, but I think if you were to kind of put those together and stuff, it kind of, the sad ending kind of overshadows the other happy endings. So it really sucks. Really sucks that Aunt May is no longer with us, but you know, it is what she would have done, I'm pretty sure, because she was running feasts for the past 5 years. She was just a generous person who would do anything to help other people, and you know, things could have been much, much worse if Peter would have used that cure on only Aunt May. It would have been selfish. She probably would have been disappointed, and a lot of people would have died. So in the end, he made the right choice, but it was really, really sad. But you know, I guess that's kind of Spider-Man's story. He does have a tragic life, and I think they did a good job of showing how tragic his life is, and why he tries to, you know, why he's always cracking jokes and stuff. He always wants to, I mean, it's pretty much how he copes with bad things. So, yeah, overall the story was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the game in general. Even the side missions and all the side stuff we had to do, that was fun as well. I really liked doing all the side missions and doing all the, you know, the boss bases, and the challenges were okay. I'm just not that good at traversal. So, you know, chasing drones and doing the bomb stuff is, it was a little bit difficult for me. But it is kind of enjoyable to actually get gold on a challenge, and it's like, yes! But I do like that they have a lot of different types of challenges, and I like that you don't have to get gold on every single one in order to 100% the game, even though it kind of doesn't make sense, but whatever. But challenges are kind of something you would do after you finish a game anyway, or at least that's what I would do. Because if I were to try to get gold in every single challenge, it would take me a long time to actually do that. And that's not something I'm really interested in doing, so. But even, like, just trying to get the backpacks and stuff, that was enjoyable too. And the photos, it was just, it's just fun to kind of swing around New York City as Spider-Man. I mean, they did a pretty good job of the movement in this game. Even though I'm not good at it, it was still really enjoyable just to web swing and zip line everywhere and do all of that. So I really enjoyed the movement. I enjoyed the way the city looked. I don't know how accurate it is to New York City. I've never been there. And I don't know if it's based on like one of the islands in New York, like Manhattan or something, or if it's kind of like a mixture of all the islands kind of put into one island, kind of like they did with San Andreas, as I talked about earlier. They took like 3 main cities from the West Coast and kind of put them in one state. So they had like San Francisco, LA, Las Vegas, and they put them all in one state and kind of made it San Andreas. I don't know if Spider-Man did that with this game, but I don't know. It'd be cool to go to New York one day. I would like to do that eventually, but maybe in the future. I don't know. But yeah, the side stuff was actually really enjoyable for the most part, and the combat in this game feels really good. I think the combat was pretty good, I have to say. The combat feels a lot like the Batman Arkham series, like pretty much the same, except as Spider-Man you're more agile, so it's kind of a faster pace, whereas in Batman you have more brute strength, so it's not as fast, but your punches do feel like they hit harder in that game. So in this game you're throwing a lot of punches, you're jumping around everywhere, you're using your webs and all that. I really enjoyed the combat, and even the stealth combat was really good as Spider-Man, and I actually enjoyed the stealth sections. Compared to Batman, I think this game had it done a lot better because, well, you could web strike enemies from a distance, which was good, and then you could also tie up enemies, and you weren't limited to a perch, like one perch. Because in Batman they had gargoyles and I know gargoyles for sure. I think they had some other stuff, but you can only tie up one guy to a gargoyle, and then that gargoyle was pretty much useless after that. In this game, you could kind of sit on a railing, you grab the guy, tie him up, and then you move over a little bit and you can grab another guy and tie him up next to the other guy. So I really like that you could tie up multiple people in a very small area. So yeah, I just really liked I just really like that. And moving around as Spider-Man, you can move around quite a bit, so it was a lot easier to stealthily take out enemies in this game. However, the actual stealth sections with MJ and Miles, not a big fan of. Not really a big fan of that. Because in those sections, you had to sneak around the enemies. You could not take them out. Although the part at the end with MJ, where MJ has a taser on her, that made it a little bit better. Because you just had to make sure you snuck up on the guard, press square, and they're out of the picture. So that was a little bit more manageable. I did like Miles's hacking app, where you could hack like a sign and distract a guy. I like that because you could pretty much do it from behind cover, and you didn't really have to move around a lot. Whereas MJ's lures, I don't know how to say it. In order to distract somebody, you threw the lure, and then you had to be positioned in the right spot so that you wouldn't throw it and it would hit. You wouldn't want to throw it so that it hits the cover you're behind. You actually had to position yourself so that you throw it over the cover. And that was a little bit more annoying, so but those stealth sections were okay, but they were still just a bit too annoying for me. I don't know, they require a lot of patience, and I'm not a very patient player. So yeah. I wish they had an option in this game where you could just skip MJ and Miles's sections, but you know, it's not that bad. But if they didn't have those sections in this game, I think it would have been perfect. But of course, they didn't. And I guess it's kind of important to have those sections in the story. But yeah, there's not a lot I didn't like about this game. There's the only problems I had were obviously the stealth sections. I didn't really enjoy those that much, but they're okay. But another thing I noticed is there's a lot of kind of glitchy moments in the game where an enemy might get stuck on a piece of wood or something, and they'll be running in place and they can't move. So moments like that were kind of weird. Like there was a challenge. There was like a combat challenge, I think. And I couldn't do it that well because most of the enemies ended up getting stuck behind a fence or something. But and so that kind of messed up the challenge a little bit, and I don't know, it's kind of a weird problem to have, but it's not that big of a deal. And then sometimes it just felt like I was pressing buttons, but nothing was happening. And maybe I just wasn't timing things correctly or anything, but I don't know. One of the things I did notice about the combat in this game is you have very, very small windows to actually get a button press off, for the most part. Like your dodges, you have to be pretty precise with them. I think there's like an ability or some sort of upgrade that you can get where it kind of increases the window of your dodge, or of the perfect dodge. which could be useful, but I think for the most part, you had to be very, very precise with your you had to be precise with your button presses. So yeah. I think the combat was actually pretty challenging even on normal. But looks like we have a cutscene here.
We were so close. But I'll keep trying. I will find a cure.
Oh wait.
I will.
Is that Harry?
I love you, son.
Holy shit. Oh, there you go. Endgame. Wow. So Harry was there the entire time. Oh my god. So if you don't know anything about the Osborns, they do become the Goblin, I think, in some sort of way. Congratulations, you have finished main story, but the adventure continues. You can now change the time of day in research stations. Sweet. Oh man. Anti-ox suit. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I can run around in my undies. Equalizer. Everyone goes down in one hit, including you. Oh! Oh no. No, I'm good. Oh my god. That's cool. Oh man. So there's a lot of kind of cliffhangery type stuff here.
Pursuit in progress. Backup requested. Reported location is Murray Hill.
So we have we got the whole Miles Morales stuff, and we also have the Osborn cliffhanger there, where we might see the Goblin or Hobgoblin, I think. I'm not sure. But who knows what's gonna happen to Harry, because he's been sitting in that tank for who knows how long. And look at that. 100% complete. 100%. See, it says campaign progress, but it was also counting all the side missions as well. So we're pretty much at 100%. We don't have everything unlocked because, as I said, the challenge tokens and stuff. But, you know, that's something we'll do another day. But like I was saying earlier, the, all the combat is really good, and it can be a challenge because you do need you do need some good timing in order to do well. But you know, it would be a lot more challenging on the hardest difficulty, which is why I didn't play on it. I just wanted to experience this game and not get too frustrated. And even on Amazing, which is the normal difficulty, it was still pretty challenging, so yeah. But overall, I think just the game was really, really good. Like, the story was great, the combat felt awesome. I really like the characters. I like Peter. I liked Miles. I liked MJ after, you know, at the end of the game. Like, in the middle, she kind of got like, she's like, Peter always needs me to be like handcuffed to my laptop because I'm gonna be in danger if I sneak into a Sable base. It's like, I mean, she was there. There was a guy pointing a gun at her. Obviously, Peter's gonna jump in there, and she gets mad at him for that. It's like, well, I can't see inside there. All I know is there's a guy holding a gun up to MJ. So, I don't know. But then she's like, she always has. She doesn't like to be the one who has to be saved all the time, and I can kind of understand that. So, once they had that little talk, then MJ became a little bit more likable. But I really like the characters in this game. I like Peter's terrible jokes. They were it's like one of the best parts of Spider-Man is just he constantly jokes, and I really enjoy that. So overall, this was a really good game. I would highly recommend playing this. It was really good. I don't know, I can't really compare the PS4 version to the PS4 Pro version because I've only played this on the Pro, but I mean, I'm pretty sure on the regular PS4 it looks great. So I would just, if you have a PS4, then I would highly recommend playing this. And even if you don't have a PS4, there's a bunch of exclusives out for PS4, and I would highly recommend playing them, like God of War, Spider-Man. They're both really good games, and I really enjoyed this game. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. Let's see what we have here. We're cured. All the details on the anti-serum and how to get it in a special edition of the Daily Bugle. You can't keep New Yorkers down. Celebrate the resiliency of our great city in the latest Daily Bugle. With New York finally getting back to normal, JJ at home discusses Spider-Man's role in recent events. What he has to say might surprise you. As Devil's Breath outbreak subsides, today we mourn losses including our own May Parker. She represented the best of New York City. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Good thing I turned down that internship at Oscorp. Would have been a blast, but no. Osborn said it would have been a blast if I worked there. We saw that one before. I find JJ rants so entertaining. He always finds a way to blame everything on Spider-Man. Yeah, we read that, I think. Because it's always Spider-Man's fault, and that's what the actual JJ supporter sounds like. People still take the Daily Bugle seriously. No wonder everyone is misinformed. I don't think there's a lot of new stuff here. Get real, New York. Spider-Man is just another tool of corporate oppression. But Spider-Man helped take down Fist, one of the ultimate corrupt corporate leaders. LOL, he blocked me. Oh, man. Been pretty much quarantined in my block for I've forgotten how long. I've been memory of the sun. Of things that are not me turning up the volume. I think we read that earlier. Who is the octopus and what's his connection to the plague? Our expert team analysis in the new Bugle. Well, obviously he's the one who released it. Rumors are swirling that Spider-Man is critical to condition following his latest battle with Martin Lee. Tune in for JJ's take on this development. Spider-Man just popped in through trash round. Take to the streets and protect. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Osborn definitely has my vote. He knows how to handle Spider-Man. Ozbus has done squat for New York. Spider-Man's the only one keeping criminals from taking over a city. Guys, everyone who reads my blog knows that Osborn and Spider-Man are one and the same, duh. I've never seen Osborn and Spidey in the same room together. Hashtag Spider-Oz. Hold out for a hero. New Yorkers lose hope as the plague drags on. Sickness worsens. How to help and find help in the new Bugle. A lot of these are repeats of things from the past. I mean, it kind of seems like one of the new Twitter updates where it's like, hey, we're not gonna show you recent stuff. We're just gonna put random stuff in random order. Oh man. I think that's about it. There's another thing I liked about this game is they actually incorporated some sort of social media so that you could see your like as you went through the game, they would actually talk about it in the game. It was it's an interesting little thing they did. I like it. Now let's take one last selfie. So I don't think there's an actual way to take the selfie. How should we do this? Like that? I don't know. So this is kind of what you have to do. You kind of have to just take a screenshot. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for Spider-Man. Now we do have photo ops to take care of, but I just don't know how to do that. Hey, how about a skydive selfie? Off the tower. Yeah. Alright. So that's gonna be it for Spider-Man.
Yuri, you're back. How's your mom?
Fine. Right back to complaining about not having grandchildren.
So you gonna take that vacation now?
Are you crazy? There's no time for that. The apocalypse didn't happen, which means we've got a city full of loose ends to clean up.
Sounds like a big job. What we're up to.
Not you. For a job this tough, we need Spider Cop.
Hey!
You said it! You even did the voice!
Okay, don't make it weird.
You like me. You really like me.
You made it weird. Let's go. We've got work to do.
I can't wait.
Spider-Cop surveys the city. Placid, but seething with turmoil just beneath its calm surface.
What have I done?
You've done good, Yuri. You've done really good. Spider-Cop is always on the case. We never retire. Spider-Cop will always be there to save the day. I really liked Yuri in this game. She's just really good. Ooh, photo? Oh yeah.
Good shot.
1 out of 50. Oh boy. Yeah, we're not gonna do all of that. So that's gonna be it for Spider-Man. Overall, it was a really good game. But that's gonna be it. We're not gonna try to get all the photos, but I might. At least not right now. If I do any of the extra stuff, like the challenges or photo ops, I'll be doing that on stream only. And maybe once I get all that done, I'll edit it into a video. But most likely it'll just be a stream exclusive thing. So if you want, go ahead and follow me on Twitch. Alright. But I think that's going to be it for Spider-Man.
All units advised. Witnesses reported a kidnapping.
It was a really, really good game, and I highly recommend playing it. So, that's going to be it. Now, one last thing. I do hope that they make more Spider-Man games. Or, I think it would be really cool to see an Avengers game. Or, not an Avengers game, but, you know, use other characters.
That's a keeper.
Like, imagine this movement system, except instead of web slinging around, I'd be using rockets and, like, rocket boosters and stuff as Iron Man. That would be really awesome. So, I don't know, I hope they do something. Either more Spider-Man games, or maybe use other superheroes. Because I could always use more superhero games. This was a really enjoyable experience. I really enjoyed the Batman games. I enjoyed this game, so I hope they continue making more of these types of games. Because it's really cool to feel like a superhero. But that's pretty much all I want to say. So that is going to be it for Spider-Man. Thank you very much for watching. And that is going to be it. So hopefully we can come back as Spider-Man in the future. But for now, we have saved New York City, and that is going to be it. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I will talk to you all later.